she's got to go. Not because she's done anything wrong, but because of the image it's created.
Yeah.
If she'd have sold the house, she would have had the same bad vibe as well.
Why?
Because she's made a lot of money and there's a greedy landlord cashing in. In my opinion, she should have gone to the council, local charities, or there's a well-known company, if I can say their name on here, Clear Springs.
What do they do? They just, whatever, sure.
They rent the houses for the government.
Okay, fine.
So she could have gone to those and parked the property on a 5-year contract with one of those.
Yeah.
They're desperate for properties, and their hands would have been clean. Their hands cannot be made clean now, what she's done.
Do you speak as a tenant, as a landlord, as a government minister, a bricklayer, or an estate agent?
Landlord.
Okay.
And Labour supporter.
Oh, okay. So how come? And are your properties in the circumstances that you described?
No, we're.
So why is a Labour supporter allowed to do this, but a Labour minister isn't?
We're all trying to get out of the game, the people I know.
Oh, really?
Because we've had what's called Rent Smart Wales down here, which is a foretaste of what you're going to get next year. And trust me, it's horrendous. It'll put tenant versus landlord on an unbelievable scale.
So how many properties have you got, if you don't mind me asking?
16.
What?
16.
16?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen by accident, did it?
No, I decided many years ago pension would never be big enough for what I wanted, so I started investing in houses. And,
50% of me says that's absolutely perfectly reasonable, but the other 50% of me was nodding along when you were describing the damage that landlords have done to the sort of housing market and the reasons why Rushanara Ali's behaviour is in your... I don't know that we're going to get many landlords with 16 properties calling for her to resign because she's got one or two.
No, it's not. It's not that she's done anything wrong. It's the perception. Greedy. They just put greedy in front of her name, and
she's not as greedy as you, mate. You're 8 times greedier than her. You've got 16 properties.
Mr. O'Brien, I'm selling 4 to my tenants.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, she could have done that.
So I guess, the immigration stuff, it's been something which it's on my mind a lot. And I guess I see so many of the perspectives. I see the perspective from a lot of, call them patriotic Brits, who sort of see the massive spending and the massive spending on hotels and the fact that actually it's easier often for asylum seekers to get benefits and whatnot when actually it feels like we as native Brits can't. But on the other side, I also see the importance of actually we're declining population. We do need to have some immigration and hopefully productive stuff. And
absolutely.
I was thinking, I was sort of thinking about this yesterday. They were talking about it on Radio 4, how the gangs, they're businesses. And I was like, okay, well, how do we tackle it from a commercial perspective? And I genuinely think it might be interesting to explore doing some sort of scheme where rather than these illegal immigrants paying gangs 10 grand, I think that's numbers that I've heard per person, we get them to pay the UK 10 grand and we take them over and we use that money to, suck out capital from the actual gangs, so that their business models just flop because people are going through the...
You're not saying the government will get involved in illegal activity, are you?
Well, I mean, obviously, there'd probably have to be some sort of change in regulation, but in the sense that we could potentially try to capture that fee, use that to then accelerate the process, and also take money away from the gangs who are profiting from it.
We charge 8, won't they? If I'm a people trafficker,
then we can charge 5 because at the moment we're spending money, aren't we?
I don't know that it's going to be quite. Is it? Do you think it's as economically simple as that? What do you think?
I mean, it was an idea. It was an idea, and I guess ultimately, yes, they can charge 5. They can. We're spending however much. So we've got money coming out. We've got backlogs, and it's like even if we go right, we'll do it for free. Just don't go to them. That I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
I think it might be
another £100 million. £100 million we hear of today that will be spent. What level of comfort do you have that you think this will help address the issue? How much support?
I mean, to me, this is like you mentioned earlier. It's like smash the gangs. It's just nonsense. It's just emotive language, and it's just. I mean, the state of politics at the moment. Don't get me started on it. It's just incompetence and.
What do you think of the state of politics at the moment?
So look, Nick, mate, I'm 23, and I just all of my life we've had what five Tory prime ministers. To be honest, I think Labour are doing a bit better with at least on the international side with some of there have been some
They've done some good trade deals, some tremendous trade deals with India. Yeah, I give you that totally.
It's just like the integrity of the politicians at the moment, and it's just I watch these House of Commons debates. It's literally like my school in year 6 science class.
Yeah.
Bickering at each other constantly. Tories did this, Labour. Just shut up. Just get the job done.
So I have a lodger in my house where I love him. He's a wonderful chap and I love him to bits. He's my best lodger ever. And he works 40 hours a week and he spends 24 hours, he tells me, playing video games. And he lives on takeaway pizzas. And he's a young chap. And so I'm thinking he's probably got a bit of time to cook from scratch. And when he does cook from scratch, it's absolutely
maybe he doesn't
delicious.
want to get. Maybe you've scared him out the kitchen, Steve. He's seeing all your posh ingredients, and he's going, Christ, the last thing I need is to be next to Steve with his premium avocados from Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose or whatever the hell you get them from.
What's wrong with buying decent
No,
food?
it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's not criticism, and I totally understand the point you're making about avoiding ultra processed foods. But you've got to bring people with you.
Well, I do try. I try to bring my staff with me.
Well, how do you then? I'm curious because you said you employ a number of people. How do you persuade them?
How do I persuade them? I persuade because I can start work at 7 in the morning and carry on working to 5, do a 10-hour day. And the reason why I can do that is because I eat basically food from scratch. You know, I eat organic porridge in the morning with a bit of organic fruit.
But how's that persuading them?
Because they drink those energy drinks and what have you, and then they get sugar highs and then they get a crash. And
no, but you said, Steve, that you're persuading your staff to avoid ultra processed foods and to eat healthily. It sounds to me like you're the only one doing it.
Henry, some of them are beginning to learn, quite frankly. But a lot of it, but basically getting down to it, I'll
be honest, Steve. I think it's incredibly patronising to say, they're beginning to learn.
Well, they are learning, quite frankly. But broadly
how are they learning? What's your proof of that? Because you've just said that they're drinking absolute rubbish energy drinks. Because they're not listening to you, mate.
I think they are listening to me. No. Okay, yeah, I like you. You're playing devil's advocate. No, and I get that. That's fine. But broadly, hello.
Yeah, I'm listening. Hello. Yeah, I think it's me.
That's fine. But broadly, they do drink more water. They do realise, and they see how hard I work. Given my age, I'm older than they are, and I can start work at 7 and I work. But broadly, what it is, Henry, if I say, it's. I've listened to literally over 100 lectures, some from Stanford University, open lectures for old people, blah. Yeah. And I've read a number of books. And if people learned what's in processed food, they wouldn't go near the stuff, fundamentally.
So, Paul, do you think it makes sense, given that you're being asked for your ethnicity, for the ethnicity of the alleged perpetrators, like the knifeman you're talking about, to be made public?
Correct, I do. I mean, why hide it? It's going to come out eventually anyway. So why hide it?
Because what would be gained by disclosing it?
Well, to alert the public of who is responsible.
But how does that change anything or anyone's behaviour?
Well, it's not changing. If a crime happens, they usually ask you, the description of the person. You give them the description of the person, but they won't make it public.
Right. So if there's a crime, if someone's stabbed on my street, as someone was recently actually, and the police tell me that person came from, I don't know, San Marino. What do I do with that information? Or what do we as a society do with that information?
Well, you've got a description of the person or a
No, but they've been charged. They're already in custody. The police have got who it is. Why do I need to know that they're Spanish or Polish or Canadian or whatever, or Afghan or I don't know, Turkish?
To alert the public.
But alert them to what? What does the public do differently?
We're all hiding behind this matter of, too frightened to mention what people's ethnicity are. Now, we all know the facts, who carry knives in this country and who doesn't. I'm not saying white people don't, because they do. But
then we do.
It's like the old saying, not every terrorist is, not every terrorist is Islamic, but a majority of terrorist offences are Islamic.
But what do we do with that information? Do we then avoid Muslim people on the tube? Do we steer clear of certain communities that we think are carrying knives? What do we do with that, Paul? Because that's just stereotyping.
I don't think it's information, and information is knowledge, and you can avoid certain situations and scenarios.
What you mean is avoid certain people, isn't it?
Well,
that's what you mean.
To do that. If you're going to go to an area where you know there's a high possibility that you could be, I don't know, like walking down the street with a piece of jewellery and you can get knifed or something, you'd avoid it, wouldn't you not?
Right, so if you're on the tube and you know that statistically most bombings on the tube have been carried out by Muslims...
I don't go on the tube.
All right, but if you're on a train then, or somewhere else where there might be a terror attack, and you see a Muslim person, what you think? Well, actually, statistically now, that's racist. It's not racism. That's racial stereotyping. It's racial profiling.
It's called being aware and conscious of your surroundings.
It's not really, is it? Because the chances of, in your situation, that Muslim person being a terrorist are absolutely minuscule. So if you treat them as if they are, that is racial profiling.